Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, cinephile. So, Flash, Armageddon, Part 3. Let's geek about it for a scant few minutes. Now we finally find out the man behind the curtain of all this. I said back in a previous recap of this that I expected there to be shenanigans, somebody kind of making things seem the way that they are, to put on this future that Despero sees come to be, and we would find out who was manipulating him. And it's clear once, it's obvious. Who didn't think about that it was going to go this way once they saw the trailers, once they knew that Tom Cavanaugh was coming back to play Thawne. Clearly it's going to be Thawne. And yes, spoiler alert, it was Thawne. So it's just, I am a little disappointed in that. I just think it's too soon. We just had Thawne play a part in the season finale of the previous season, and I said it before, and I still stick to it, that this Reverse Flash should come back like for a 3-part arc that closes out the series, not a season, the Flash series as a whole. We've just gotten enough of him over like the 8 years, enough of Tom Cavanaugh playing versions of Wells, and we finally got done with that gimmick, but we still haven't come back to be Thawne yet again. It's too soon, and it's too much, and it's just, we're well past Malcolm Merlin levels of just, really, this dude is still here? Why is he still here? I know we like the actor, and again, it goes back to just like they just like an actor, and they just get attached to him, and they just want to keep pulling him back, even though it's just doing a disservice to the overall show, to the narrative that they're putting together, to try to spin out something new and different, and just take things in a different, like a direction that we just won't just guess and already have figured out easily. But here we are. So the episode opens following up on the closing moments of the last episode, that I saw like a reviewer kind of get annoyed in their write-up that they say that Chris Williams as Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, is in the last episode when he's just in like the last couple minutes of the show. And then the write-up for this one, the synopsis, pointed out that Ryan, that Alex, that Ryan Choi were going to be in this episode, and they turn out in the last 2.5 minutes of the episode. So that's kind of annoying to kind of, but you know, it is what it is. But the episode opens up with Barry enacting the injustice protocols, because apparently once they got everybody together and they were going to do this impromptu, I guess not impromptu, but an unofficial Justice League, they had protocols put in place in case one of them goes bad, because Lord knows they've been whammied a bunch of times over the courses of their various shows to do bad things. So they say, one of us gets out of line, another hero is charged with doing whatever to put us down. In this case, take Barry's speed. And for the love of God, I know we all flipped our collective lids when they had the Hall of Justice and the whole Gleek throwaway thing from Crisis. But, and the hall was the spot where they had the gathering for the Invasion crossover. And it was just this sparse area that I imagine that's on a back lot somewhere where they're filming or whatever. I understand that. And it was cool because it was like the hall is under construction. But it's still just basically a big empty room with a Star Labs van and just some other stuff, like, and a table in the middle. And it's like, you guys couldn't like dress it up a little bit more, like do the Hall of Justice some justice, because it's just, I was like, that was my whole thought in these scenes with Barry and Jefferson talking. It was just like, wow, just can we do something? Can we put up some fake walls or something just to kind of just make it better, or have them meet in a sort of like a just take the table and put it in a smaller war room specific type of thing. Just do justice to the Hall of Justice is what I'm saying. But Barry wants Jefferson to take his powers, and Jefferson is against the idea. They have these back and forth exchanges, which are really good. Grant Gustin, Chris Williams, they have really good chemistry. And I like kind of Jefferson and Barry. I like their bonding in Crisis, and I like it building on their bond here in this episode. Barry wants to get his powers taken away. Black Lightning is like, bro, like, don't give up on yourself. They end up getting into a pointless fight about it. That was the only thing I didn't like about it. It was just, we have them, those are special effects we could have saved for something else. But we just had this pointless fight. That was really pointless. It was. Elsewhere, you have Iris investigating her dad's death because she feels like there's just something off about it. Her and Cecile clash in a major way. So we finally get to Cecile dealing with the grief about Joe dying, and then you get into some of Iris's feelings about it, and Cecile says, you're chasing ghosts, basically. Joe is dead. Leave it, and we're going to find Barry. And Iris is like, you help Barry your way, I'm going to help him mine. So she goes off to investigate things, checks with security, and still sees there were some missing frames from his security tape, but then they find out that there's reasons for that, and Joe's like dead. It was purely an accident. Iris is satisfied with that, still grieving. Allegra says there's something else to this, bears further investigation. Cecile, on the other hand, is working with the others to try to find Barry before Despero does. And I'm just like, how did nobody know he was at the Hall of Justice? Did you just, like, he's not on some other planet, he's not in some reality, and you took working with the top and boosting your powers with a bootleg Cerebro that Chester built out of stuff in his little garage or whatever to find Barry. But Barry was like, we're getting into some of the stupid stuff with the writers, and it's just Despero, meanwhile, turns on the particle accelerator, jacks into the power, absorbs it to boost his mind so he can further latch onto the minds of Top and Cecile as they try to find Barry. Eventually works. Despero shows up, just rips the information from the Top's mind, even though she tried to barter with him, and then from Cecile's mind, and he goes to attack Barry because Barry's going to go mad. He said he was going to kill him. Meanwhile, Iris has met up with the Still Force to further investigate things at the train station. Turns out Still Force sees that somebody tapped into negative energy, the negative Speed Force, to make alterations to the timeline. Negative Speed Force is the Reverse Flash. If you didn't know already, you knew it then. And then they show up to save Barry, give Barry a boost in power so he can go to the future, see what's going on. Barry sees that it's Thawne. That's the gist of it. Thawne has gone back and messed with the timeline to screw over Barry, and now he's won, essentially. So we'll see what it takes in the next episode, or the remaining 2 episodes of this 5-parter, to defeat him. That was just the episode. I liked it. Like I said, some strong performances from Chris Williams, and the chemistry with him and Grant Gustin. Loved it. Some good stuff with between Cecile and Iris, kind of dealing with their grief about Joe in different ways, and just having that clash, that blow up. I really enjoyed that scene. I'm sure it had to be. I would like, just to, from a director standpoint, and just as far as like directing stuff and kind of pulling the best out of your actors in a given scene, I would just love to see like the dailies from that, or just see all the takes and just the behind the scenes stuff, the direction that the directors were giving them as they approach that scene. That's to me is the most interesting part about that scene. Well, all in all, Despero's a patsy. There was a moment where they kind of paid tribute to the comic book cover with him playing chess, where he's playing chess back at Star Labs. But Despero's a patsy for the Reverse Flash. We'll see what it takes to stop him. We're going to have some hero-on-hero combat as the Atom and Batwoman and Sentinel are there, and they're going to fight Barry and in the next episode. So that'll be cool to see, I think. But like I said, it's just, again, as I said in the last video, I will wait until the 5 parts are over to fully kind of judge Armageddon as a whole. But just, I'm sticking by my thoughts that it's just too soon for the Reverse Flash. Because there not be somebody else that could dig up somebody new, somebody fresh from the pages of the comic books, or made up somebody. I guess maybe if they made up somebody, it wouldn't be as impactful as pulling somebody from the comic books. But Reverse Flash, again, like, it just, those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are, but you guys either think, let me know in the comments below, follow me, social media, talk to me there, talk to me here, until next time, and part 4 of this, let us geek.